Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Ooh, today is Tuesday. Doesn't feel like it, but I guess all this dreary weather and gloominess outside, it's like crazy. This weather is really doing some craziness, I swear. One minute it's 60, 70 degrees, then it's 30 degrees, then it's 50 degrees, and then it's, all these different things. So I am just actually having to put my diffusers on every day so that I can breathe better. And I know some pollen came out the other day. It's just we're having really, really estranged weather. So, anyways, today is Tell It Like It Is Tuesday, right? So, I hope you guys are having a great day so far, and I hope your week is starting off magnificent. So, when you just let me know, and I'd be happy to share some great things with you. Good morning, Sarita. How are you doing, ma'am? So if you're watching this video live, type in the comment city and state where you're tuning in from so I can know just how far my broadcast is reaching. Of course, if you're watching the replay, make sure you hashtag replay. If you're watching the record report for the very first time, type in number 1 in the comments so I can know who you are. I can welcome you, ask you to come back again. And if you, I want to ask you, if you find value from the record report, would you please go to my business page and leave a review? My business page is www.facebook.com/RuckerCC, which I'll type in the comments. Good morning, Miss Ann. So please go to my business page and leave a review if you find the content on the record report very valuable and you want to continue to receive good information. Tell It Like It Is Tuesday. So I want to talk a little bit about, excuses just a little bit before I get into my blog. It's amazing. It's just like excuses are just like telling people what they want to hear because it sounds good mainly to yourself. But when people try to tell you what they think you want to hear, it is amazing how they justify things in their mind that this actually is a good idea or this actually sounds good, right? And I just never seen so many people come up with so many excuses. It's just like they have an excuse, which I guess they feel that's a reason or justification for why they don't do something or why they do something. And depending on what it is that they're doing, the excuse is never it's never a good thing because most of the time it's when they're doing something negative or they're doing something unproductive or they're just unhealthy in general. And to not make excuses requires accountability. To not make excuses requires discipline. And to not make excuses require you to change the habits and create new, more positive habits that will bring you results, right? So, the topic of my video today is 9 key elements to get massive results. So you can't get results if you have excuses because they are in direct opposition of each other. But a lot of people have the bad habit of making excuses, just like people have bad habits, bad eating habits. A lot of people smoke, so they have a smoking habit. A lot of people have I'm allergic to exercise habit, but yet they want to be in shape and they want to feel great and they want to be able to get into their what we call old clothes size, but yet they are allergic to everything that is required in order for them to lose weight. And so all they have is an excuse, or they allow someone to say, you know what, it's okay, you don't have to do that. Self-reflection and self-examination, like the things that we really allow into our psyche and that we listen to, it really baffles me. And a person that says that they're your friend, but they would encourage you to not do anything to protect your temple, to be proactive about your health and just say, just go ahead and it's okay. You can eat that extra this, or you can have that, or you can do that. It's amazing to me, I guess, the the amount of people who cannot think for themselves, or the amount of people who need the validation and acceptance of others. They have to be a part of a group, or they have to fit in a group, or they have to, have the validation or acceptance of others. Like, we really live in, and to me, Facebook, social media, Snapchat, whatever, all these platforms only intensifies or magnifies the validation that a lot of people need from others. It really magnifies that, because the things that people post, if you watch, or the type of videos that they share, if you look at the things and the content that they're consistently posting on their timeline, because you can use your social media account for whatever and whatever you want and however you want, but the need for validation, the need for attention is real for some people, and it is very, very out of control, to the lengths and the degrees that they would go to get that attention, to get that validation, when it's not even necessary. But at any rate, I want to tell you guys, I'm thankful for waking up this morning. I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful that I exercise discipline about my health, about what I eat, when I eat, and what I feed my son. Of course, he can't eat anything at this moment other than, baby food and formula. But, he's 6 months, and he's very attentive. Even though he cannot eat the same food that I can, he wants to eat the same food. And he gets really, really upset because he cannot eat what he sees me eating. And he feels like left out, or like I'm mistreating him because I won't feed him what I'm eating. But he'll look at me and look at my plate, and he'll go back and forth. Like, when I'm eating, I had to sit him in my lap a couple of times to eat. He didn't want to, me to sit him down. He didn't want to be in his little rocker or playpen or whatever. So, I'm eating, and he's just going like this the whole time. Like, he's watching what I'm eating, and he's just looking like, well, where is mine? Well, how come I can't have it? He does not have that concept and understand that he cannot eat that yet, but he feels and expects that he's supposed to, be able to do what I'm doing and eat what I'm eating at 6 months. So it's really, really funny that, what we allow to go into our psyche, and the influence that we allow other people to have on us. That's not a good influence. But 9 key elements to get massive results. So if you could type in the comments, as I name off these key elements, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you for hopping on, Sherrod Sankofa. Sankofa, you owe me a phone call too. I tried to call you, and I guess you were busy and you're supposed to call me back, but I didn't hear back from you. So anyways, number 1, the first key element is you have to make discipline a major force in your life. Discipline is required in order to get results. They are synonymous. You cannot get results when you lack discipline in your life with anything. If you want to be a phenomenal athlete, or if you're preparing for any kind of competition, spelling bee, science fair, swim meet, track meet, basketball game tournament, you have to exercise discipline every day in your life, especially if you want to get results. Number 2, you have to make it okay to fail. We are our worst critic. I'm harder on myself than anybody else could be. But it's okay to fail. You know why? Because failure teaches you what doesn't work. Failure teaches you what will work, because it helps you learn, discover, and navigate failing your way to success. So it is okay to fail. One of the things I do plan on teaching my son and asking him is, what did you fail at today? What did you fail at today? Why did you fail at it? And what is the solution so that you don't keep repeating that same thing? To make him think. When you challenge a person to think, you unleash the chains and the shackles that has been holding their mind, their brain, their vision, captive. And a lot of people are in shackles mentally. A lot of people are being held back mentally. Part of it is their own fault, but the other part is because their lack of exposure and their circle, their environment. Point number 3, don't allow your fear of failure to outweigh your desire to succeed. Don't allow your fear of failure outweigh your desire to succeed. Fear of failure is real for people. Fear, period, is real for people. And, the best way to overcome fear is you just got to do it. You just got to face your demons, and you got to face your fears head on. You got to be scared, but you still got to step. You can be fearful, but you still got to move. You can be afraid, but you still got to say, no matter what, I'm going to accomplish this anyway, fearful and all. You might move a little slow. You might be a little timid. You might tiptoe, but you're still moving. You cannot stand still. Fear paralyzes you. You can, fear stands for false evidence appearing real, or it could be face everything and rise, right? It's all in how you decide to look at that. So point number 4, anything worth doing is worth doing badly until you get it right. Anything worth doing is worth doing badly until you get it right. You don't have to know it all. You don't have to, be all well put together like leather. Learn. Take risk. Be adventurous. What do you have to lose? Fear is what makes you lose. The best ideas and the best ideas and the best thoughts are buried in the cemetery for the people who never decided to go for it, for the people who never decided to visualize or, try to implement and launch some of those ideas and things that they had in their head. So, that is where the wealthiest place of things are. It's in the cemetery for the things that the dreams and the visions that people never gave birth to. So, point number 5, make taking massive action consistently a priority in your life. Make taking massive action consistently a priority in your life. That is key element number 5. How often or how quickly and how consistently do you take action? When you get a thought, when you get an idea, when you get a vision, when you brainstorm or you're in a mastermind group and you come up with, hey, you know what? One day I want to own a laundromat because, there's a need in communities where there are plenty of apartment complexes because not everybody can afford a washer and dryer, or maybe the apartment complex does not offer washer and dryer connections in there, so they have to go to a laundromat. Look, brainstorm, right? So if that idea was given to you, it was by divine design, it wasn't by accident. Do you begin to research and start looking up the laundromats in your area and what the population in your area and how many people is that laundromat servicing? See, you're just one idea away from wealth. You're just one idea away from building, being a millionaire. You're just one idea away from being a business owner, right? But you do have to understand money and finances and the tool, that money is a tool, and how to utilize that tool in order to run a successful business. So, point number 6, remove all doubt and excuses. That's one thing many people don't have. They lack confidence. I don't care if you don't know anything. You don't know what you're doing. If you walk in like you own the room without the confidence in the world, you can do everything wrong and still succeed because you got the right attitude and you have the confidence because you believe in yourself. It is hard for many people to drum up that kind of confidence, that kind of faith. Like, you know what? I can't fail. Everything I touch, I got the Midas touch. It's going to turn to gold. Anything I do is going to succeed. It's going to blow. Do you say that to yourself every day? 3 times a day? When you decide that, I'm going for it. No matter what, I'm doing it. Even if I don't succeed, or even if I don't make a profit, or even I'm doing it because I know I can do it. I want to do it. It's in me to do it. And I have full faith and confidence that I can get this done because I have a desire to accomplish something that I set out to do, that I visualize myself doing, and that I know I want to challenge myself to be greater, to be better, and not just be complacent and sitting back and watching and just sitting back and doing nothing and just sitting back and be like, well, that's just not for me, right? Point number 7, take calculated risks. You have to be a risk taker. Are you a risk taker? I did a video blog about that. So what is a risk taker? You have plenty of people take risks. But the question is, what type of risk are you taking? You have people that drink and drive. They take a risk every time they go get behind the wheel. They done had 3, 4, or 5 drinks, and they're willing to risk losing their driver's license, going to jail, getting their car impounded, being charged with a DWI, and possibly losing their job. They are willing to risk driving while intoxicated under the influence of alcohol. You also have people that are willing to take the risk of driving their car without insurance, right? You also have a person that's willing to take the risk to not have any life insurance or not have the proper life insurance to cover their family, because what's the odds that I'm going to die, or what's the odds that my child might die, or what's the odds that, you take risk on all kind of stuff all the time. But the question is, what type of risk are you taking, and why are you willing to take those risks that are more costly to you if you get caught doing those things versus taking a risk that would yield you a profit, that would yield you more revenue, that would yield you more confidence, that would yield you, you giving birth to something and having, more babies. So you give birth to one thing and it gives, reproduces, right? It replicates, it duplicates. So what are you willing to take risk on, and why are you taking those risks, right? If a person leaves their laptop or in the car, on the seat, or their tablet or their purse, you're taking the risk that somebody's not going to break into your car and steal all of your valuables, right? So take calculated risk. You have to be a risk taker. Number 8 is be a copycat. As long as you're copying the right cat, then it's all good. Who are you following? Why are you following that person? Do you have the right mentor? Are you listening to the right wisdom? Are you listening to the right advice? Are you being built up for something greater? Are you putting yourself in alignment to grow into more, right? We copy too many of the wrong things. We follow the trends, right? Fashion trend, the dialogue, like slang words, whatever is cool, what's hip, what's in. We follow all kind of trends. But we never set and create our own path and leave a trail for someone else to follow. We're so dying and eager to just jump in and fit in and be a part of what everybody else is doing, right? So who are you copying? Be a copycat as long as you copy the right cat. Number 9, be committed. Means to carry into action deliberately, to make things happen no matter what. Be committed. Means to carry into action deliberately to make things happen. So my question is, what do we commit our time to? Who do we commit ourselves to? Because if we don't know why we're committing to certain things, who we're committing to, is it going to take us closer to our goals, or is it going to repel us and take us away from our goals? So, I'll share the scripture, Proverbs 16:3. It says that, commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. So if you're not a Christian, or you're not a believer, you don't believe, have a higher power that you believe in, that's all good. But I'll tell you this, that, the manifestation of thought is powerful. You have 100% control and access over your thoughts. What you put into your mind, into your psyche, into your thought process is what you're going to execute, right? Think, plan, execute. Think, plan, execute. So what are you cultivating? What type of environment are you creating? Not just for you, but for your children. What are you teaching your grandchildren? What are you teaching? Can you be okay with your family talking about you? Can you be okay with your family having an attitude with you? Because I said, until I become debt free, I'm not participating or going to events. I'm not going out to eat. I'm not spending money doing things that I like to do or that I want to do. I'm focusing on what I need to do until I pay off my student loans, until I pay off my mortgage, until I pay off my car note. You have to have an until moment. And until you are committed to that, then you're going to allow everything else to come in and sidetrack you and get you off what you're trying to accomplish. And then you're going to have an excuse to justify why you got off of focus and off of target. What's up, big head? So 9 key elements to get massive results. Are you a risk taker? What type of risk are you willing to take? Are you willing to take the risk to help you build wealth, to help you become debt free, to help you leave an inheritance for your children's children's children instead of leaving debt? Are you willing to make sure you buy your family member or your niece, your nephew a life insurance policy instead of a pair of Jordans for Christmas and camping out all night? Are you willing to invest in some stock in Under Armour or Nike or a place that you like to spend your money on for your children or for your nieces or for your nephews or for your grandchildren? We waste a lot of money in what we buy for Christmas, right? But there's a blessing that you can truly have and buy and do. It's called prepare them and set them up so they can have wealth by the time they're 18 and out of high school. They have options. They have options if they want to start a business. They have options if they want to go to college. They have options if they want to, buy real estate and own an asset that's going to produce more cash and more income. What are you teaching your children and your grandchildren, because they learn more by watching what you do, not by what you say. That's why taking action is always so important. That's why being a risk taker and taking the right risk is so important. So I just want to thank you guys for tuning into the Record Report. Make sure you share this video blog out, because it's time for change. Nothing changes until you change. But you got to change this first, because if you can't change this, then the rest of you is not going to change. Your mind is connected directly to your body. If your body is going to change and do new habits, then it starts in your mind first. If you're putting junk and garbage into your mind, then that's what's going to come out of you. People know who you are by what comes out of your mouth. So what kind of conversation and dialogue are you having? If you're watching the Record Report on the replay, type replay. If you're watching this live, type in the comments city and state where you're tuning in from. If you're watching this Record Report for the first time, type in number 1 in the comments. Please come back again, get your money up, because you absolutely can and you absolutely deserve to do just that. And remember to leverage your job the same way that they leverage you.